So I was just in Oakland, and I was just walking down the street, and I was checking out this hot Vespa, and then there's this guy here just pulping coffee on this, or peeling the parchment skin off coffee on the sidewalk.
Howdy.
So that's Dan.
Hi. We got this parchment sample delivered to us. Doesn't happen often, but when it does, we got to find a creative way to get this parchment off because we don't have a huller ourselves here at Sweet Maria's.
So what's parchment?
Parchment's,
show me the green.
Here's the green coffee that's we've removed the parchment from, and basically it's the protective skin around the seed, around the bean. So it's around the silver skin, and then there's the bean, essentially.
So this would be what would happen on a large scale. You'd do it at a dry mill. This would be the dry milling process after the coffee's rested. But here it is, just a sample that's been shipped in parchment. So we were looking for a bicycle tube because we'd heard that this worked. But we actually, let's talk about our first method.
Well, the first method, Tom had this great idea. We essentially needed something that had a little bit of tack to hold on to the parchment as you're rubbing it, basically trying to rub the parchment off. We were looking for something with a rubber tacky surface.
Yeah.
So these things, I don't know if you've seen these before, but
they're
called ping
coffee
pong
parchment paddles. Coffee parchment paddles.
Yeah. Otherwise known as ping pong paddles. So
right.
Essentially,
from the Sweet Maria's ping pong table,
a little less than that,
which I'll point out has not been used very much.
I didn't even know that
lately.
that existed.
It exists.
So we're doing a very little amount at a time, and basically just pouring it right here onto the paddle.
That's why we're on the sidewalk, by the way.
Voila! This takes about 6 passes. So 6 passes and some winnowing yields you about 10 grams.
Yeah.
Green, something like that.
Okay.
So, yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
And you can just blow it off.
Okay.
And that's just a partial.
Yeah. By the way, Dan, nice jacket.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Sacramento Silent Kegels?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the exercise. So then there's this other method which is basically cutting a length of bicycle tube, tying one end, dropping the parchment in there, which is a slightly arduous task, and then rolling it on the sidewalk.
Okay. So you're trying to find the rubber's just kind of grabbing it.
Yeah. The rubber grabs the parchment and allows the bean to sort of slip out of its skin. And
you just crack it and it kind of comes out. In sample labs, exporters and stuff have a little sample hauler, which is like a drum that moves and just pushes the parchment down against a drum that sort of gently grates off the parchment. It's not a rubber drum; it's a metal drum with some burrs on it. We just don't have anything like that. And then the other really, here you can shoot this. The other really macho way that, if you want to show how much you know about coffee, you walk up at a dry miller and you're supposed to be able to take this. These really macho farmers can sit there with their hands and just go like this. But I have always found I am not mas macho, and I just can't do a very good job at it.
Menos macho.
Soy menos macho.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, that's how you cobble together a hauler for samples. When people ship you stuff like this.
So this is how we do it in West Oakland.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is it?
Yeah, I didn't fill it all the way up, but essentially this is all the parchment in there, and then you just roll it.
Okay. I've never done that. That's great.
It works pretty well.
Maybe we need some fat bike tires.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you want to have anything too fat because you want to have
hipster bikes with skinny tires, and
you want to have the maximum amount of rubber to grab at the beans. If it's too big in diameter, you just have too much of the parchment working against itself. Let's see.
We got a breeze out here.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet Maria's.